Hey woodcutters, TopSaw here. In this video I'm building a deck here, 20 by 10, wrapping it around the house, and I'm excavating all of that out. I have a lot of old students helping me out here. I'm going to run through design all the way to the finished product. I'm going to try and keep it under about 10 minutes or so with a little bit of time lapse, a little bit of drone footage, and a voiceover for the whole thing. So it's going to be kind of a big project that I'm looking forward to. All right, to start this project, get some tools out there, build a temporary workbench, start getting all of the rocks and clutter out of the way, make sure I have power, and then start getting all of my measurements, drawing it out on graph paper, writing down those measurements. I'm not quite to scale here. This is just my initial sketch and plan on what I'm trying to do. So I know a general direction to start with. So this isn't my finished plan, this is just my initial sketches to get started. After I have this, I go down to the lumber yard and I price out all my materials. I figure out what materials are going to work best. I'm going to use this Trex Enhance with the hidden screws so there are no screw holes in the top of the deck. Now that I have my rough plan and my materials and my site clear, I start drawing my actual plan. I actually have quite a few pages of notes, things I want to remember to do and include in my plan. And I'm actually drawing out every board, every seam, and I'm also putting together my materials. So this is actually a 1/2 inch to 1 foot scale, even though I'm on 1/4 inch graph paper. Like this way I can figure out where everything gets cut and what I need. One thing I really love about this woodpecker's rule is I use it like a drafting square. I put a piece of 3/4 inch down on my desktop, and then I'm able to use that hook around the edge to stay parallel to the edge of the board. I'm all done there. I'm starting to gather my prices. From here I'm going to build a spreadsheet and try and put together a whole budget what this project will cost. After my spreadsheet's built, I realize all that excavating is going to take a while to get those guys in. So what I had to do is I had to call a friend in, also an ex-student of mine who's a contractor. He brought his backhoe in so I could get started right away. So he's just doing enough for me to get started on the footings and the deck. There is a bit of a time crunch on this project. The mother-in-law comes in within a few weeks, so it has to be done by then. All right, the initial dirt cleared so I could start framing. I tore off that old deck on the tie-in. I put posts in. That's a ledger there with vent holes through it. And additionally on that ledger, I have spacers between the ledger and the siding, so I didn't have to tear off the siding. Those are joist hangers, my joist coming across to the beam. And that's that little side deck. There it is right there. My joists are all in. I'm level with a little bit of grade away from the house, and then there's a 10 by 20 deck. As I'm working, the lumber company's coming over with a 16-foot Trex. They're delivering it hopefully or ideally as close to the build site as possible. This is all pressure treated joist posts, and here I am attaching the joist to the joist hangers on the ledger. It's going pretty well, pretty quickly, and mostly because the plans are pretty good. So I got most of the deck done, and then the excavating crew came in. So you can see the deck's pretty much done except for the decking is not laid. Now the excavating crew owned or run by a student family have come in, and they've been a giant asset. You can see them here. They brought in an excavator on the weekend. That's a Takeuchi excavator, and then a skid steer to move the dirt. It's really a gigantic excavation project, and you could really pick up how skilled these old students of mine are. They're just doing incredible work, especially with that excavator. It's a really steep slope and really pretty scary excavating. So he's on the top, reaching down, pulling the dirt up and out, and then the skid steer is swinging back behind him, picking that dirt up and getting it up out of the way. Shot from the drone right here. we're actually doing pretty well on the time frame and on the budget so far. Mostly because the plans were pretty well set before I got started, and my spreadsheet of materials and costs was all pretty well set. All right, there's a skid steer just taking it away, sweeping the dirt under the carpet, kind of so to speak, and there's the excavator pulling it out. While they're doing that, I'm starting to lay the decking down on the joists. I always like a nice place to work, so I just got a few of the decking boards down to set up the TopSaw. And you can see the deck's pretty much done. Just need the decking on it, the rails, and a few more other bits and pieces. So it's really a ton of dirt to get moved, but they're doing an incredible job with that skid steer. Really steep slopes, water's on there to hold the dust down, and also to keep the dirt packed a little tighter. On that excavator right there, you can see how high up he is and how far he has to reach down. Maybe one of the most important things on a project like this is drainage. So I want to make sure that by the edge of the deck to the bottom of the bank, there's at least 6-7 feet, so that in the future I could get a mini skid steer in there to clean it out if I had to. And also when they're all done digging out the bank, that the skid steer could come down here and get a nice good grade and flat edge. It all slopes back there, and then I have a 6-inch pipe in there for drainage. This is the dirt getting swept under the carpet here. It's just getting pushed out over, kind of over the rise there, just out of the way. There's a culvert draining it, and there's the slope. Now here's a mini skid steer coming down the steep bank. This is a little scary right here because the dirt's so loose. He's trying to slide it down here to get it down to kind of scree the whole bottom so it has a nice flat surface and also a nice grade on it right here. It might not look that steep on camera, but it's steep right there and soft. And there he is kind of skating it down. And then now that it's down, he'll be able to kind of pick up all the loose dirt at the bottom of the excavating site. Well done. And then after he has that all nicely leveled, this is some funny video of him trying to get up out of there, trying to drive it straight up, too steep, too soft. The excavator right there is trying to reach out and give him a hand up, or I guess a bucket up, trying to grab the bucket and catch it and pull the skid steer up, but the soil's just too loose. I'm glad it's not me slipping and sliding. That stuff always makes me super nervous. And then here he is, a little bit of an angle, just about losing it, sliding back down. There he goes, one more try. Just got it, just about has it. There it is, up over the edge. Keep that inertia going, spins it, and got it back up that bank after it got all nicely cleaned up. Really unbelievable skills on these two pieces of equipment. Nothing makes me happier than having an old student come back with just so many skills and help me out. Just fantastic to see. So there it is, all excavated out. You can see the deck, beautiful dirt work, but as every project, there's always glitches and problems. Right here, the track had just come off the excavator, but they're getting it figured out and it's getting done. That's the key thing, done and done well. There's the deck, all the decking laid down, looking pretty good. Needs to get trimmed off and rails put in. And then here's the first powder-coated steel rail from Hills Flat. I like this stuff a lot, works really well, looks good, nice and solid, easy to put in, blocking underneath it to support it. And then here, you could see, here's one of the panels right here. It was wrapped in saran wrap, but got smashed at Home Depot or wherever it came from. This always drives me crazy. I'm trying to get the job done, staying up late at night to button it up, and just about got it done right here, just in time. There's a trailer in place. Grandma's ready to move in. And there it is, access to the house, flat deck in your own private place. So if you like this video, hit like. I appreciate you watching. Love to hear your comments below. And if you're new to this channel, think about subscribing. Thank you.